Okay, now listen. I'm trying to tell you that the length of time that it takes you to do it is directly related to how much time you've spent doing it. All right, that is no joke. All right, the more you do, the better you'll get. All right, that's just it. That's the way it goes. All right, so I need all of these done by tomorrow. All right, then I'll have another 40 more for you, and then on the test there'll be like 20. All right, and you're going to have to factor completely. Now remember, factoring completely means always look for the GCF first. That's your number one thing when you're doing these. Look for the GCF. Not all of them have a GCF. All right, but you must look for them. All right. So with that being said, I think I asked you to do like 35 to 61. All right. Hopefully you gave that a good shot. Now, anybody who tried 35 through 61, was there one in particular you'd like for me to do? Tell me, Ashley. So here we go. Now, generally what we say is it's a little bit harder when it's written backwards with the negative y squared, but don't be confused about that. First of all, is there a GCF? No, there's nothing common. So it's just a basic problem. All right, so you put two sets of parentheses. Again, start with the middle factors of 10. We would say 2 and 5. The only way to make y squared is y and y. Now, this is 5y, and this is 2y. I need -3. So the 5 must have been what? And the y must have been, and that's all there is to it. All right. And like I said, the main reason why people don't like this is because it's guess and check. There's not really an algorithm to solve it. All right. You just have to go through the different possibilities. All right. Next.
Oh, I have a question on that one. So it doesn't matter which side the y is.
You could write it like this. You could write it as 5 plus y times 2 minus y. You can write it like that, but it does matter the signs for sure. Yes.
Oh, wait, are you showing?
Yeah, no, we're good now.
Oh, can you do 53?
Again, there's no time to play, guys. I mean it. All right. If you're comfortable, just all of this has got to be done tomorrow. I'm collecting it tomorrow. So if you're like, I am so good at this, I'm just going to finish it up on my own. Sit there and finish it up on your own. Don't bother me. I'm trying to help the people who need help. So tell me which one, 53? Okay, 53 is really important. So I want everybody to look up. All right. Can you factor out the a minus b or the b minus a? No, because they're not the same. So to make them the same, I have to factor out a what? Negative. All right, now look what happens when I factor out a negative. If I factor out a negative from the right side, this plus becomes a minus. The b becomes what? Negative b, and the a becomes what? Positive a. Now, are the things in parentheses the same? They are the same now. So what I want you to do is, instead of doing that, if the sign is not the way it should be, factor out a negative and then just rewrite it. Instead of writing negative b plus a, just understand you're going to write it as what? A minus b. Thank you. That is correct. All right. Now, this in front is not just a negative. It's kind of a negative what? It's kind of a -1. So I need everybody to look carefully because this is a nice little problem. So now what's common? A minus b. What's left behind? X squared minus 1. Is that the end of the problem? Definitely not. The reason it's not the end is because what's true about x squared minus 1? I can do what? I can factor that. All right. So now I'm going to show you, right, that it is a minus b. And then someone help me with x squared minus 1. What does that factor to? Really easy. Go. X and x. Yes. Plus 1 and minus 1. When there is no middle term, that's going to be the easiest one. All right, it's called the difference of squares. All right, now I'm just telling you, if you just wrote that down right now without thinking about it on your own, you're going to have trouble on the test or on the quiz. Really, you are. All right, Jolie, what? Yeah, you have a question with this?
Yeah, I was just confused how. Wait, for the, actually, wait, no, I got it.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right, and look, the reason why there's so many is because you need the practice. All right, you have to deal with the problems. There's no escaping. I'll be able to tell on the test whether or not you did the work. All right, usually kids get 100 or they get about a 50. All right, you have to do the work. Jolie, tell me 37. All right, so here we go. Oh, this was the same one. Now you should be able to do you agree that this y minus x is not the same as x minus y, right? So we factor out a what? That's right. Factor out a negative. So this becomes 3 times x minus y. This becomes a negative t, and then this becomes x minus y. Now, what am I factoring? Correct, and what's left behind? That's exactly correct. That's not too bad. Yes, sir. All right, let's look at 49. You good? Now, is there anything common here? Is there a GCF for 49? Now, I'm hoping some of you are looking at this going, I'm trying to get 16 with 3 and 5. So what's a good way to get 16 with 3 and 5? Multiply them. Yes. Right? You should start to be able to see that. So I'm breaking it down to 2 separate parentheses because there is no GCF. So I'm doing 3x and x. Where does the 5 go? On the right side. The reason, because I know I want to make 16. So 5 times 3 is 15. And then if I throw a 1 here, this becomes 1. 15 and 1 makes, if they're both negative. All right, we want it to be negative 16. All right. Somebody else? Anybody else with questions? Tell me, Ashley. 61. Here we go. Is there a GCF here? 3, 12, 12. Yeah, it's 3, right? So I quickly pull out the 3, x squared plus 4xy plus 4y squared. 3, 2 sets of parentheses. How do I make x squared? X and x. Now I want 4 from the factors of 4. So what are the factors of 4 that make 4? 4 and 1 will make 3, or 5, 2 and 2. 2 and 2 make 4, right? 2 times 2 equals 4. So immediately I'm going to throw down a 2y and a 2y. This right here is 2xy. This right here is 2xy. I need a what? 4xy. So they're both what? Positive. They're both positive. And that's your answer. Tell me.
Then what happens with the 3?
That just stays out on the side because you're multiplying it. Okay. All right, come on, guys. Anybody else through 61? And then I'm just going to start going down to 63. Why? Where's yours? Here. All right, yes, sir. 39. What's the GCF here? This is a good one. 4 what?
4x.
4x, thank you. 4x, do you see that? Now, remember, divide numbers, subtract exponents. 20 divided by 4.
5x squared.
5x squared. 28 divided by 4.
7x.
And then 8 divided by 4.
2.
Now, right off the bat, you should be able to say, this one's going to be kind of easy because there's only 2 factors of 5 and 2 factors of 2. So it should be relatively easy. So 4x, open parentheses. How do I make 5x squared?
5x and x.
5x and x. Now, where does the 2 have to go? On the right or the left?
The right.
If I put it on the right, isn't that going to make 10?
Yeah.
I don't want 10 because I'm trying to get to 7. So how did I know it went on the left?
2x and 5.
2x and 5x makes what?
7x.
If they're both
Negative.
if they're both negative. Well, like I said, I cannot emphasize to you enough. If you didn't do these, all right, you got today and tomorrow to like sit down and spend an hour. All right. It's not going to be easy. All right. If you're not practicing and you're not doing the problems. What?
Wait, can you explain to me why x is squared with 9 by 2?
3 minus 1.
Oh, okay, so, okay.
You're subtracting out an x from each term. All right, somebody else. Let's look at 55. Oh, this one's kind of easy, kiddo. Tell me.
So x minus 3.
That was common.
And then a is,
That's it.
oh, okay.
No worries. It's all right. It's all right. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else?
I want that's out of,
No, no, just a 61 for now. And then what I'm going to do is I will finish these off. All right. And then I'll post the solution so you can kind of double check your work. All right. So now what I'd like to do is I'd like to just stick with starting with 63. All right. Everybody's on 63. All right. And I'll try to get as much as I can done in class with you. I think I'm just going to go through all of them. All right, here we go. I need someone to help me. What's common with 63?
y.
A y. So everybody pull out a y. And this one should be kind of easy to factor. 2 sets of parentheses. The only way to make 2x squared is,
2x and x.
and the only way to make 1 is, now smiley face, 1x, 2x.
Plus.
Makes 3x if they're both positive. I just think that's not that hard. Come on now. Molly, you sure?
Yeah.
Anybody had any trouble with 63 now? Nobody? All right, let's do 64 together and then I'll let you do 65. I'll hold that for about a minute and see if you can do it. All right, so GCF. I need to figure out the GCF for 64. What is that? 4. Thank you. So automatically throw out a 4. Then remember, you're dividing the numbers, which leaves me with 2x squared plus 5x plus 3. All right, this one should be kind of easy. How do I make 2x squared? 2x and x. Where do I put the 3? Now, listen, this is one that is considered hard because there's 2 ways to make 5. If I put a 3 here and I'm doing it wrong first and a 1 here, that makes 6 and 1, right? So it looks like if this was positive, this was negative, that'd be the right answer. The problem is that would be a -3 here. -1 times +3. That's considered a hard problem. All right, because there's 2 ways to make 5. What do I mean by there's 2 ways to make 5? I can erase this and put 3 here and 1 here. And now I have 3 and 2 again makes 5 if they're both what? If they are both positive. All right, everybody good with that? Anybody have any questions? All right, so now I'm gonna pause the video just for a quick second. And then okay, now, again, what is the GCF here?
7,
Good job, 7x, open parentheses, 2x squared, perfect. Everybody good with that? Now, 7x. All right, how do I get 2x squared? Okay, now, those of you guys who are struggling just a little bit, the factors of 6 are what? 3 and 2. I know 1 and 6, 2, but we're gonna start with the middle factors. Now, where does the 2 have to go? On the right side, because you can't have common factors in the same set of parentheses. So I'm throwing a 2 over here, and I'm throwing a 3 over here. If you just learn that alone, that'll save you half your time. All right, now 3 and how much? 4. I want it to be what? -1. So I want the 4 to be what? Now, most people put a negative next to the 3 because the 3 is bigger than the 2. They forget that you're multiplying 2 times 2, which is what? I want that to be negative and that to be positive. They can't both be negative because then this right here would be a positive, true?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Please keep asking, keep trying. All right, if you don't know something, you better speak up because I'm telling you, it's almost an all or nothing. Either you know it or you don't. What? Well, I'm trying to figure out what 2 things multiply together are this. What? Come on. You sure? All right. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and let's go over to 66. Everybody put a star by 66. This one is kind of hard. All right, but not really. All right, the same process. How do I make, is there a GCF? No. So how do I make x to the 4th? X squared and x squared. Now I'm trying to get 26. How do I make 26 from 25?
26 and 1.
I know what you meant. 25 and 1. All right, boys. All right. All right. Just get over it. All right. No comedy show today. Now I want -26. So they're both what? They're both negative. Okay, so now you're halfway there. Because everybody now should be able to look at x squared minus 25 and say that automatically factors to what? What does x squared minus 25 factor to? X and x. Yeah, -5 and +5 because I want the middle term to be 0. Now that I told you that, I would like everybody to tell me quickly, how do I factor x squared minus 1? You don't have to say x and x. You can just say the factors. What are the factors? X minus 1 and x plus 1. Come on, man. You get an A on the next test. It kind of looked nice. All right. If I'm telling you though, even though you think you know, all right, you have lots of practicing. All right, go.
It's like when you have to like keep it and then you can bring it down. Is that like the difference?
Yes, that's called the difference of squares.
And
It
then
has to be a minus sign. It has to be a minus sign, and these have to be perfect squares. Okay. What?
Why do you have to do it from 2 to 4?
Because x squared minus 25 can factor. We're factoring completely.
How do you know that you just got 20?
Because I know x squared minus 25 can factor. Everybody in here does. Everyone knows x squared minus 1 can factor. You're not going to stop if you know it can factor. All right.
How do you check your work to see?
Multiply all those out, and I promise you it's that. You multiply these two things together, you multiply these two things together. When I multiply x minus 5 times x plus 5, I will get x squared minus 25. When I multiply x minus 1 times x plus 1, I will get x squared minus 1. And then when I multiply these two things together, I will get that. All right, that's how it works. All right, somebody help me. What's common with 69? Sorry, z. So what's left? There you have it. Now this one, you should be saying, I think this one's easy because there's only one way to make 7 and one way to make 2. All right, so here we go. Z, 2 sets of parentheses. How do I make 7x squared? 7x and x. Now, is the 2 going to go on the right or is it going to go on the left? You should be thinking about it. Right. If I try to put it over here on the right, that'll give me 14, too much. All right. And then we put a 1. And I want it to be positive 9, so they are both what?
Positive.
They are both positive. All right. Let's just go ahead and go down since I already messed things up. Okay, give me some help here. What is common with 72? Y to the 4th. Y to the 4th. So let's pull out y to the 4th. And I'm left with 6x squared minus 7x minus 10. So now y to the 4th. Now this one's annoying, all right, but we start with the middle factors. What am I going to go with? We're going to start with 3x and 2x, and I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying from experience, that's the best way to start. Factors of 10. 5 and 2. Where does the 2 have to go? On the left. 5 has to go on the right. Now the reason, no, it doesn't matter. I just want you to make sure you understand. Does everybody understand why I'm saying 2 cannot go over here, right? Because it will have a common factor with this 2. So it can't. So it's got to stay over here. Everybody with me? All right. Now, again, please get in the habit. Little smiley faces. How much is this?
4.
How much is this?
15.
Uh-oh. 4 and 15 don't make 7. So now I erase the 2 and the 5. Instead of choosing 2 and 5, I'm going to do 10 and 1. 10 and 1. All right. Now, if I put the 10 here and the 1 here, does that work? No.
You gotta change to 6 and 1.
Yeah. So now we've checked all the factors. So now I have to go back. Instead of saying 3x and 2x, I have to say 6x and 1x. And now I'm back to 2 and 5. So where does the 2 have to go?
On the right.
On the right, and 5 has to go on the left. Look how tricky that was. How much is this? 12. And how much is this? So I want the 12 to be what?
Negative.
Negative, not the 5, right? Because there is a product that's negative and that's positive.
For the first step, could you have just done 6 and 1 because you know that makes 7? Is that like a?
No, because remember, there's other numbers that you're multiplying by. 2 and 5. All right. Okay, so now on 75, what is common? 10y, right? Come on. Everybody's doing 10y. All right, what's left behind? 5x squared plus 2x. Yes. Very good. Two sets of parentheses. 5x and x. Where does the 3 go? On the left. 1 goes on the right. 3 and 5 make 2 if the 5 is positive and the 3 is negative. Nothing to it. All right, let's knock out 78. What's common? 5y cubed. I'm left with 3x squared minus 2x minus 8. Anybody have any issues with that? All right, here we go. 5y cubed, parentheses, 3x and x, 4 and 2, probably 4 on the left, 2 on the right. How much here? And how much here? That looks good, right? 4 and 6 makes -2. If, right, so the 4 is positive, the 6 is negative. All right, here we go. 81. Let's knock out this one. What's common? 5y. What's left? 4x squared minus 11x minus 3. Now 11, I see 4 times 3 is 12, right? So I'm thinking instead of 2 and 2, I might as well go ahead with what? 4x and x. 5y. 4x and x. Where does 1 go? And 3 goes on the, how much?
12 is negative.
12 is negative and the 1 is positive. All right, now I just feel like me just continuing on is not helpful. Because you need to do the work. All right, however, if someone is sitting there saying, I gave an honest effort on one of these and I'm not sure, I'll be happy to assist. Thank you, good for you. 67, let's look at 67, thank you. All right, so here we go. Common is what? That's what I got. So I end up with 2x squared minus 9x minus 5. 5y parentheses 2x and x minus 5. You can always check if you're right. That's what I'm saying. It's, you have to be correct. There's no way to be wrong if you check your work.
You did number 68.
That's okay. Yeah, oh, 68 was one that we needed to do anyway. All right, so it's a good review problem right here. Everybody look at 68. So x to the 4th minus 1 factors to what? X squared minus 1 and x squared plus 1. Now I need everybody to highlight or just underline, or does x squared plus 1 factor? No, x squared plus 1 does not factor because there is a plus sign. This will not factor because of that plus sign. No factoring. In order to factor, the middle term must be a what? Minus. That's correct. It must be a minus. So now I'm asking you this. Can I factor x squared minus 1? Yes, because the middle term is negative. And so x squared minus 1 factors to x plus 1, x minus 1, and then you have to leave x squared plus 1 alone. It does not factor. Okay, that was a nice one. And 68 is just like 74 and just like 83. All right. What? 76. Yes. There's a common 8y to the 4th. Is that correct? So when I pull out 8y to the 4th, I end up with x squared plus 7x plus 2. Now, can x squared plus 7x plus 2 factor anymore? There are no factors of 2 that are going to make 7. So this is the answer. All right, that is the answer. Sometimes the only thing you can factor is the GCF. Anybody?
You can't make 7 because 2 and 1 can't.
That's right. All right, again, anybody who's tried something, what?
You said number 74 is just like 16.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
Anybody else try something? Evan, do you have any questions? I don't know if you're still there or not, buddy.
Yeah, I'm here. My only question was 68, but you already answered it, so thank you.
Anybody have any questions? All right,
Can I try, like, can we do 74?
74.
So would it be like x squared minus 16 and x squared plus 16?
No, it would not.
Okay.
What times what is 16?
4 times 4. Okay, so x squared minus 4 plus. Okay.
And then x squared minus 4 can factor. What does that factor to?
So then x minus 4 and x plus 4.
Nope,
Oh, 2.
that's right. I just have to be careful with that.
Can we go like to 10?
Yeah, I don't mind. That's it. There's just a common negative 2x.
Oh, okay.
The middle term can't factor. Tell me again.
83.
All right, let's look at 83 because he tried hard on 83. What do you think?
I got x squared minus 9, x squared plus 9, and then minus 9 factors to x minus 10 x plus 3.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Of course. Very good. Not hard. You have to practice. What?
For number 10, why is it completed?
We'll try factoring more.
Give me a second.
How does that factor? You're right, it doesn't. That's why it doesn't factor. Right, these aren't perfect squares. Whenever there's 2 terms, they have to be perfect squares.
What makes them perfect?
Like 4 is a perfect square, 9 is a perfect square, 16 is a perfect square. All right, I'm getting ready to turn everything off. Does anybody have? All right, one more, 70. Here I have 9, no, not 9, but 3. 3y squared. 3 is common with 51. That's why it's annoying. So then that becomes 3x squared minus 17x minus 6. And then 3y squared. And then it would be 3x plus 1 and x minus 6. All right. So I'm going to put this up. All right. If you need to listen to it again, if you're having trouble, that's my advice. Go through and listen. All right. All right, Evan. Hopefully everything is good. I can't really hear you today for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Oh, you can't?
But I'm going to go ahead and post the solutions later tonight so you can double check your work if you need to. All right. I hope you have a fantastic day. Hope to see you soon.